Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Chal Dash. That belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Boso, which were well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim, to the Dakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. I'm the priest Shimon, and I'm going to be doing a response to a CNN video put up called The Rise and Fall of RT, or Russia Today. RT News, which a lot of brothers use, they still have the sites up, but in terms of YouTube, they were constantly putting up videos, right? And we would use the videos that they put out to do lessons on, because it deals with prophecy, right? What's going on internationally, because the Russia Today's tagline was "Question More." And when you watch that CNN video called "The Rise and the Fall of RT," or Russia Today, somebody in the comment board made a good point. They said grown adults, let them have the right to discern information. When you only get your news source from one media, that's the problem, which is true. This is pretty much everything you read about. If you were familiar with the George Orwell wasn't his real name, I forgot his real name, 1984, spoke about this. You know what I'm saying? One news media, one government ideology being pushed throughout the world, and all must follow it. And if you question that narrative, they gaslight you, right? You either deal with conspiracy theorist, or wacko, or whack job, or some sort of crazy person if you go against the mainstream narrative. Now, let's look at CNN, right? CNN, they were getting a ton of dislikes. So we know that big tech is partnered with leftist media. So YouTube, being a part of that big tech, took away this dislike button. So now you're forced to like what you're told from your news stations, and the competition that would question alternative approaches to certain situations, they've been banned. Before Russia Today, it was Press TV, which is an Iranian-backed network, and when former President Trump ordered the assassination of Qasem Soleimani, Press TV was going to report on it, but they got shut down. Right now, the situation in Russia and Ukraine, you have to be mindful of what you say, because again, if you go against the mainstream narrative, you will be shut down. And that's what happened to Russia Today. Amos 5:11 speaks about a famine of the word. Now, a famine doesn't always mean that there is no food. A famine could also be the lack of access to food. Because that's pretty much what's going to happen concerning this word right here, the word that we teach in the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Brothers are going to still be around, but people are not going to have the access to these videos, whether it be shadow banned, whether it be the lack of internet, or whether it be all hell breaking loose. And the Lord is showing us, if Esau could do this to his own, Esau against Esau, which is also an indication that this kingdom, the white man's kingdom, is coming to an end, because the scripture says if Satan be divided, how can his kingdom stand? So you have Edomites against Edomites right now, and they're waging informational warfare, because the minds of the people are very important. So whoever can control the narrative can control the people to think and act a certain way. So over here in the West, America, they're getting rid of all sorts of alternative media. And the benefit of doing what I do, the ride sharing app, right? The driver apps, you get to pry at people's brain, and you come to find out that people are very gullible, mainly women. Women are very simple-minded. You know, when the scripture says simple-minded, it means like open-minded. Like they're the best example I could give is like a child. You know, a child, you could explain things in the most non-evidence way. You know, you could say Santa came down the chimney to deliver.
Regarding those phantom weapons of mass destruction.
Salakia. You could say that Santa Claus came down the chimney to deliver those presents, and a child being open-minded, they'll believe it. And that's also the nature of women. I think it says that their brains, in terms of processing logic, doesn't go past a 13-year-old male or something like that. That's how come Eve was able to manipulate the woman very easily, because women rely on their emotions. And what does the scripture say? The scripture says the heart is desperately wicked, meaning relying on your own mind, relying on your feelings. And that's what women operate on 24/7. So they're going to be wicked, man, for the most part, you know? So when I deal with these people and you talk to these people, you find out that, and again, mainly the women, they're very gullible, you know? If you force feed them enough information, you can manipulate them to believe certain things. Now, Press TV is gone, RT is gone. I don't know if Newsmax is up, but stuff that are sort of right-wing leaning, as they would say, is disappearing. Ron Paul and Liberty Report is still up, but I'm surprised they're still up, because Ron Paul, he's a libertarian, he still says a lot of things. I'm surprised YouTube let it slide, you know? But this is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Don't they say that the pen is mightier than the sword? Meaning if you can control the narrative, the news, and stuff like that, it's more powerful than having a weapon, because you can manipulate the minds of the people. Hell, that's how the Rothschilds got all their damn money. They manipulated and lied about the outcome of a war, all right, and made huge profits out of it. You know? But the ultimate truth out there, which is honestly getting harder and harder to find, is this right here. And why am I saying it's getting harder and harder to find? Because not only people are learning about Hebrew Israelites and waking up to that, but there's so many different camps, so many different sects of Israelites, that it's very easy to get led astray, because a majority of Israelites have flaws in their doctrine. And scripture says, again, lean not on our own understanding, and with all thy gettings get understanding, in the book of Proverbs 4:7. With all thy gettings get understanding. And in the book of Proverbs 3:5, it says, trust on the Most High and lean not on lean not on your own understanding. But then the book of Psalms 119 tells us how to get understanding. I believe it's Psalms 119 and 114 that says, through thy precepts I get understanding. So when we speak about these scriptures, they have to be backed with precepts. When we speak about the truth, it has to be backed with the precepts of the scriptures. Now you have Israelites out there that are twisting and manipulating scripture, and they're going to be far more Israelites that are deceiving, that have been deceived really by the Most High, than they are that have the truth. Why? Because the scripture says, broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. So here it is, there's a whole bunch of bullshit in the world, and then when you come in the realm of Israel, you got to worry about more bullshit. On top of Esau suppressing this information, suppressing this knowledge, trying to. So if you've made it this far, the apostles, the elders, brothers of Great Millstone, that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, that are breaking down the scriptures the right way, consider yourself truly blessed, man. Because the Most High have set up so much filters, so much traps, so much snares, as King David prayed and prophesied would happen. That they table be made a snare. Meaning when they try to go into the understanding of the scriptures, it's to their detriment and not their benefit. So if you've made it this far, through the grace and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, consider yourself blessed, because there's a lot of bullshit out there. Now with that in mind, understand this. Us putting together these lessons, teaching, is for a finite period. Because think about it, just last year you was watching RT. Now you're not this year. At all. You don't have any access to it through YouTube. You know? Yeah, they might have their articles, which they put out. But they had over millions of people subscribing. And those millions of people would spread things by word of mouth. Now, how many of that is going to continue on getting information to their website? You see? So that caused a crippling effect, because a majority of media consumption is coming from YouTube, man. It's coming from YouTube. Now, we have BitChute, we have Odyssey. Now, I heard you have Band TV. But even Alex Jones over there, will be on Band TV with some of his stuff. He's facing bankruptcy. Because, you know, yes, we bring out the truth, but you have a lot of whistleblowers on the internet out there that might not know the whole truth about Israel, but they'll know truths concerning geopolitics, what's really going on with this and that. You know? That they're being silenced. They don't have any other outlets. They can't make any money, because like, how the hell can you donate to them? A lot of them that I watch, like example Ryan Dawson, his donations come via crypto, because they blocked all his bank accounts and every damn thing. So at any moment, this man has the power to shut down everything. Like I said, last year you was watching RT, this year you're not. And it's only a matter of time before, you know, look, at the end of the day, it's all prophecy, that these videos won't be getting put up like that, man. Not because we don't want to teach, but the lack of access to outlets to teach. Better get it while it's hot. Better get it while it's available. You know? Brothers can't say that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, Great Millstone is not a diligent camp, because every single, if you hit the subscription and you put the notified bell, you'll get constant notification if you did it on all them GMS videos. Apostles are always going live, elders are always out there, brothers are always teaching through the spirit and power of the Lord. If I'm not doing a video today, another brother's doing a video the next day. It's just constant. You see? And again, that's all through the spirit of the Lord, but there's going to come a time when the Lord is going to pull that back. That's Esau's ultimate end-all goal. One everything. One news media. One place for you to get food. One place for one world order. Norab, Sokurum, some shit like that. Unum, something. You know, it's Norab, Orum, Sokurum, something like that. Out of many, we're one, something to that effect, man, on a dollar bill. You know? Which is what these nations, the elites of these nations always strives for since Nimrod. To control all the population and then have them be under one ruler. Hell, Yahweh Shah is going to have a one world order. A one world order in righteousness under the Israelites, the true Israelites, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. So let this devil enjoy this shit. Let him enjoy it, because one, we ain't gonna be enjoying shit when you Edomites, when we in rulership. You know? And two, the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment, man. Our kingdom to come is everlasting. And hell, we're gonna make you pay for suppressing it. Even though it's prophecy, we'll make you pay for suppressing this with the word of the Lord anyways, man. You know? That, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Ba'ashem Chakadash. That belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone on True Bow. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there. You Akim to Sadakim that do this thing there, most truth and sincerity. Shalom.